Yes, good morning mga katribu. It's Wednesday, January 17, and welcome to another episode of the Tribune Straight Talk, where we discuss important matters to each of us. This is Gigie, Arcilla.
Good morning, Gigie. Good morning, Mr. Monzon. I am Chito Lozada. We are live on Daily Tribune's Facebook page and Tribune Now on YouTube.
Yes, and this morning we are joined by the President and CEO of the Philippine Stock Exchange. Actually, Chito, we have been running after our guest for the past weeks, and I'm glad that...
Fortunately,
yes,
we
I'm glad
caught
that
up with him.
he's joining us this morning. And mga katribu, let's welcome Mr. Ramon Monzon.
Hi, good morning, Gigie.
Yes,
good morning,
good morning.
Chito. Thank you for having me here. It's 1 week late, but I had laryngitis last week, so I'm sorry about that. You can still hear it now. You know? This is not my normal voice.
That's all right. Better late than later. All right. So should we proceed to move forward to the meat of today's show. So, Mr. Monzon, our first question: what initiatives or programs does the PSE plan to implement in 2024 to attract more investors and increase market activity?
Well, we do have a lot of programs. First of all, let's try to understand what affects our markets' liquidity. When you say liquidity, it's the average daily trading volume. Okay, I think there are three things that affect market liquidity as far as the Philippine Stock Exchange is concerned. The first one is the friction costs. You know, the Philippine Stock Exchange, or the Philippines, is the only country that has a stock transaction tax. Okay, among all the stock exchanges, we are the only ones that impose a stock transaction tax. Meaning, every time you sell a share of stock or sell shares, the government collects 60 basis points, 6/10 of 1%. Whether you make money or you lose money. So when you look at the foreign investors that invest billions, 6/10 of 1% seem to be a very small amount or figure, no? But when you apply that, to billions, that becomes very, very significant. So that's one friction cost that we are addressing. The other friction cost is we have a minimum broker's commission of 25 basis points, or 1/4 of 1%, both buying and another one on selling. So you can imagine a foreign investor that will invest here, or even a local investor, hindi pa siya nag-uumpisa, he's already got 1.1%, that he's got to make. I mean, this would be okay if all the markets are like that, no? But we don't have a level playing field. We have been trying to really lobby to get this stock transaction tax eliminated, or at least reduced. And this has been ongoing for so many years. We've been trying to lobby our legislators, our Department of Finance people, and of course there's resistance because immediately there's a revenue loss for them. But we keep explaining to them that revenue loss is going to be temporary. Kasi maybe in the first 2 years or even 3 years, they might be losing tax revenues. But because of the increased volume, eventually they will make more than what they've lost. And our president of BBM is a market-savvy president. It took him to get this, going. So, in fact, there is a pending bill in Congress that has already been approved by the committee of Congressman Salceda, Ways and Means. They've already approved a bill. They call it a Capital Market Efficiency Act that will immediately reduce the stock transaction tax from 60 basis points to 10 basis points in one go. No? And then it also reduced the tax on the dividends for non-resident investors from 25% to 10%. Same as the tax that Filipinos pay. Those twin moves or those twin reforms should really, encourage a lot of the foreign investors to come back.
And also the small investors. I
Yes.
would, I would suppose that the friction taxes would
It
be,
affects everybody.
Yeah.
Di ba? Even even a GCash, subscriber that invests in the market is subject to that. So we have been, following up the progress of this bill. It's now, I think it is now ready. I don't know exactly how the process in Congress goes, but it's one of the priority bills when I think the Congress reopens on, I think January 25 or something.
Yeah, it is.
And I was assured by Congressman Salceda that will be one of the priorities. So, pag napasa yan sa House of Representatives, that goes up to the Senate. And of course, we will do our lobbying there again. Okay. On the minimum brokers commission naman, the SEC, okay, well, this minimum brokers commission, believe it or not, is a product of a presidential decree. So it's a long time, no? So it's still law, kasi it's a presidential decree that has not been amended or repealed. So the SEC is working on getting that repealed and coming up with a policy that there will be no minimum commission. So it will be, subject to negotiation. So those twin moves will put the Philippine Stock Exchange on a level playing field, no, with our regional peers, and hopefully that's one of the attractions for foreign investors to come back. So that's friction costs. The second, of course, is lack of products. When I talk about lack of products in the market, you're talking about lack of listed companies. We have 285 listed companies. Singapore has, I think, 800 or 900. Thailand, maybe a little over 1,000. So we have really lagged behind. No? And again, why is that so? Well, I think the focus of our regulators, which the exchange has to follow, no, is investor protection. Naging mahirap mag-list sa market. So, I guess in the desire to protect investors from investing their money in probable, unprofitable companies or schemes, naging masyadong mahigpit yung listing. And this is not only our regulator, even for PSE. Naging mahigpit yung aming listing rules. And we realize that. So we have changed that. No? We have substantially liberalized and eased the listing rules, especially for the SMEs. Dati, we require a track record of 3 years. You must be in existence for at least 3 years. Now, we only require, you can be in existence for 2 years, have a track record of profit for 2 years, you can already list. If you're not profitable, okay, but your sales is going up 25% every year, the last 2 years or during your, existence, kahit wala kang profit, you can list na rin.
No? Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
And if your sales is still not going up kasi you're a startup, no? We recently approved a listing by a sponsor model.
How was that?
Somebody has to
You look
sponsor
for
you.
a financial advisor, di ba? Or an investment house na who's very familiar with your company. Let's say it's a startup. Alam nila na, this company we know has a potential. I mean, you deal with them and they can, as long as they get accredited as a sponsor, when they sponsor you as a PSE, automatic you get listed. No track record, no nothing. No. Of course, this comes with certain responsibilities for the sponsor, no?
Yeah.
Siyempre, kailangan naman ma-protection pa rin natin investor. So, kailangan inaalalayan niya yung kumpanya in-sponsor niya for the next 3 years to make sure that they, they comply with the necessary disclosures, file the, necessary and accurate reports. So, we've really, liberalized and eased the listing rules. So, that will address the, lack of listed companies. In addition, in 2019, we came up with what we call the LEAP program, LEAP.
Yeah.
That's Listing Engagement Assistance Program, where we handhold companies that want to list but are not ready. Alam mo, madami sa ating mga kumpanya, especially the SMEs, these are family-owned companies. They need capital, they have no access to loans, no, but they don't know how to do the IPO journey. So we put up this program. They register with us, and then so we handhold them. First, we look at their, we tell them, ito mga requirements ng IPO. Where are we on this? And more often than not, ang pinaka number one nakita namin problema, well, we know it, in the Philippines, the small companies, especially family-owned, they have 2 sets of books. Di ba? Excuse me.
That's a
So,
really a big one.
Given yun.
Not only that they don't know how to take the step towards an IPO, but the
Correct.
apprehension.
kasi alam mo, pag nag-IPO ko, dalawa yan. Number one, do I want to share my profit with other people? Do I want to share my plans or my business with other people, di ba? So, you change the mindset eh. So, we have continuous, learning sessions for our LEAP clients. No? We have about 70 companies there in different stages of preparation for Kwan. We have 7 that are, we have already 4 that did an IPO. We have 7 that are now ready to do an IPO. So we handhold them from their books. We tell them, okay, we will refer you to an accounting firm that's accredited by the SEC. We refer them to lawyers to make sure that their governance structure is in place. And then, when they're ready, we refer them to an underwriter, an investment house.
So you walk them through.
Yeah. Tawag namin doon, hand-holding. We hold their hands.
Yeah.
These 70 companies are all family owned companies.
Well, mostly.
Mostly.
No.
Old,
We have, of the 70 companies, 20 of them are in the main board, meaning big companies. 50 are in the SMEs.
20 main board.
Yung
So
malalaki.
these are big family companies,
Yes.
which are not listed yet.
Not yet listed.
So you already have 7 listed.
No. 4 of those have already
4,
listed.
4 of the 70, and then there's another.
No. So, yung natitirang 70, we have 7 that are ready to
Right.
do it
7.
already. So, they're just waiting for the right market conditions.
Are these big companies, family
Well,
owned companies?
yung kung nga, yung 50 are the
7.
SMEs. So, these are the companies that will raise anywhere from 300 million to maybe 1.5 billion pesos of capital.
Yung 7, sir, yung ready
Mga
for
20 yan,
listing.
siguro yan will raise about 5 to
5.
8 to 10 billion. Well, like I mentioned lang earlier, we had our first company presentation at,
Citicorp.
yesterday for the company that will do the first IPO for this year, no? And that's the Citicorp Renewable Energy Company, or CREC, we call it CREC. And they're targeting to raise anywhere from 13 to 15 billion. So we address we're addressing the lack of products in terms of a lack of listed companies. We have several initiatives in this on getting more companies to list. The other one, when I say lack of products, another product of the exchange, aside from listed companies, is capital market products, short selling, derivatives,
Yeah, recently you introduced short
So
selling.
finally, after we submitted our short selling rules to our regulator in 2019. Again, with the push of BBM, that got approved last year. So
okay.
now we have short selling already in the Philippine market. No,
So it took 4 years.
took 4 years. You remember the REIT, the Real Estate Investment Trust. That was a law that was passed in 2010. But the very first REIT that was listed, this was in 2020.
2020.
When Secretary Dominguez, said, all these rules are crazy. The BIR rules, the SEC rules, talaga nobody's gonna list.
Yeah,
So
it's complicated.
we had that change.
Okay.
And that's why we had our first REIT listing at the height of the pandemic in June 2020.
Yeah, that's true.
Ayala REIT, which is doing very well now.
And then a lot of other
Oo.
rate follows.
Of course, for this year, we are anxiously awaiting the REIT offering of the biggest real estate company. Of course, everybody knows that's SM Prime. No. They have been wanting to do a REIT, but they have been waiting for the right
Correct.
market conditions, as they say.
All right. So I hope 2024 is the right
So-
market condition.
Products this year, I guess by this first quarter, we are going to be launching what we call a VWAP trading. VWAP is volume weighted average price.
Yeah.
A lot of the foreign investors kasi, when they invest in the market, they want to invest in the VWAP price. VWAP price means the volume weighted average price for the day. Kasi ano, pag namili kami sa umaga, baka mamaya,
Iba na.
pag close sa market, may lugi na kami So, but that was not possible in our market before kasi if you buy, it will affect the VWAP syempre. Diba? Kasama sa volume So, we've changed our rules. We've had it approved by the SEC. Now, a lot of, VWAP trading can be done by the foreign investors. This is mostly for big foreign or institutional investors. So, pag nagsara ang market namin at 3 o'clock, after that, up to 3:15, it's all VWAP trading. So, lahat ng trades doon will not affect the VWAP price as of 3 o'clock.
So yan
it's
yung mga
getting-
oras pala, yung 3 o'clock onwards. Yan yung magulo dun sa floor.
Hindi. We have what we call a pre-closing that happens at about
30 minutes.
15 to mga 2:45, where all the buys and the sells are compiled by our system. We have an algorithm that determines now the closing price. And the next 10 minutes from 2:50 to 3 o'clock, all trades are only at the closing price. And that's when we're about 40 to 50% of the day's volume is focused yung closing lang na yun.
So it's hard to stop Mr. Monzon from his
Yeah. Very interesting actually.
So we have that VWAP trading. We're going to be allowing algorithmic trading. A lot of the foreign investors have algorithmic trading. Their algorithms are programmed in their computers. No? They look at certain na pag na-trigger yan, buy or sell. So we're allowing that. We also got approval for that. That should be happening again in the first quarter.
Pero Mr. Monzon, I guess we have to take a break.
We'll give your voice a reprieve. So, mga katribo, we'll be right back and ask more interesting questions from
Talagang,
to Mr. Monzon. So, we'll be right back after a short break.
This break is brought to you by Angkas, Beat the Traffic, Bayad Center, hashtag Bigger Better Younger Bayad, and you can buy it all. Globe, atin ang mundo. Meralco, ang liwanag ng bukas. SM, we've got it all for you. Smart, live more today. Union Bank, it starts with you. A wellness show dedicated to empowering viewers with the knowledge and inspiration needed to lead a healthy lifestyle. Be Well Now, hosted by Miss Cory Quirino, every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Only here at Daily Tribune's Facebook page and Tribune Now in YouTube. Alamin ang pinakamaiinit na balita at mahalagang issue na bumabalot ngayon sa ating bansa. Ating pag-usapan, blow by blow, dito lang sa Hot Patatas, kasama sila Chicky Mangkukang, Vernon Velasco at Gio Leaño. Tuwing Lunes, Miyerkules at Biyernes, alas 3 ng hapon, dito lang sa Daily Tribune Facebook page at Tribune Now sa YouTube. Conversations that are masterclasses from the top honchos of various industries. Learn from their strategies and insights so you yourself can unlock your full potential. Perfect every Friday at 2 p.m. only here in Daily Tribune's Facebook page and Tribune Now in YouTube. Creative minds, entertainment icons, style influencers. We shine the spotlight on remarkable individuals who shape our cultural landscape. Every Tuesday at 2 p.m. only here in Daily Tribune's Facebook page and Tribune Now in YouTube. Parayan at talakayang showbiz times 2, doble-doble! Kasama ang dalawa sa walang kupas na talakayan ng showbiz, Alwin Ignacio at Alex Brosas. DTT Show, tuwing Sabado at Linggo, alas 4 ng hapon, dito lang sa Diaryo Tirada ng Daily Tribune. Straight Talk dives deep into present issues of leadership, politics, business, and more. Engage in insightful conversations with industry shakers, government leaders, and trailblazers every Wednesday at 10 a.m. only here on Daily Tribune's Facebook page and Tribune Now in YouTube.
Welcome back to Straight Talk, mga katribu, and still with us is Mr. Ramon Monzon, President and CEO of the Philippine Stock Exchange.
Yeah, one of the programs or the goals of the stock exchange is to bring the market to the small the ordinary Filipinos. And recently, one of the reforms is the reduction of the board lot. Yeah. And how would this improve the investments of
again,
Filipinos?
it's part of our strategy to increase market liquidity. Increasing market liquidity, part of that is increasing the participation of the retail market. You know, in 2021, in January 2021, when we were under lockdown, the stock exchange had one of the highest daily volumes. We were averaging about, in January, mga 11 billion of trading a day. And 51% of those trades in January were all retail investors. Kasi siguro yung mga retail investors hindi makalabas, hindi makabiyahe, hindi makashopping. So they were focused on the market. You know. So the investors are there. Okay? So now, unfortunately, from 51% in January, it's been going down. Now it's about 19% of the market. So part of our strategy to increase market liquidity, one of the aspects there is, increase retail participation.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you've read about this. That's why we've tied up with fintech platforms like GCash, Maya Bank, where a GCash subscriber or a Maya subscriber can invest in stocks directly from the app. No? With GCash, PSC provided them the technology. So that if I'm sorry, I'm not a GCash subscriber. So if you're a GCash subscriber, merong app doon na G-Stocks. Pag press mo nun, you're connected right away to their broker, and you can already trade. Now, having said that, we know that the GCash subscribers, I mean, these are not the big traders. So we said, let's democratize investment. So one of the things we did, at the big opposition to many, with the big opposition from many brokers, is we reduced the board that, such that any investor now, even with 100 pesos, can invest in the market. No? Siyempre, ayaw ng mga brokers yan kasi somebody who invests 300
Yeah.
pesos and I have to worry about giving them their dividends and all that. No?
Bariya lang yung 100.
Sabi ko sa kanila, kung ayaw nyo, hindi naman kayo pinipilit eh. But for the Gcash and Maya subscribers, they're okay with that. And that's what we're doing. So that's why we, reduce the board that. That's the first step. My idea here is, eventually, there's no more board lot. You can buy one share of any stock. No.
Is that possible?
Oh, we can do that. It's just we have to tweak our trading engine lang. And we're buying a new trading engine kaya hindi pa namin. Pagbili namin ng bago, program namin yan sa bagong kwan.
Pwede na tayo, Chito. Sa Gcash.
100 pesos.
100. Huwag naman. Gawin natin 500.
Yeah.
May brokers fee pa rin yun?
Yes. Kaya nga, that's why we're working on that.
Okay.
I don't want to say this, no? I mean, kasi it doesn't sound parang democratic or anything. But when you're gonna invest in the market, what Gigie saying, baka dapat na ba mag-invest ka ng at least 1,000?
Yeah.
Kasi kung mag-invest ka nga naman 100, it's sure, no? But you have friction cost pa eh.
Yeah.
So baka maubos lang yung kuwan mo sa friction cost. So, but eventually when that is, addressed, then you're okay.
Well, that's a very good plan.
Oh.
Kasi for ordinary people, they think that, ayan nga,
Pangmayaman.
pangmayaman, elite
Yeah.
yung PSE. So now that you have a program na to democratize. So even the, subscribers of Maya or Gcash can invest.
To make the
Perhaps,
market
learn
inclusive.
how the stock exchange,
Well,
works.
part of our democratizing access to the market is we came up with a new product, what we call PSE Equip. Kasi yung market data yan, meaning tells you what a company is doing, anong earning. Usually it's only the institutions who can afford market research. Diba? In fact, they pay PSE for our market data. We came up with this PSE Equip that a retail investor can register and subscribe to for free. So you're able now to, you have your own market research, market data capability in your handphone for free.
For free. Is this
We call it PSE Equip, EQUIP. In other words, we're equipping you with the,
Educating,
Yeah.
Is it available now in the
yes, already available.
PSE
market.
equip.
Yeah. And of course, we also have our, we launched our PSE Academy website in first quarter of 2023. That's a web-based platform for all our market education.
And your own program, Market Edge?
Yes. So, it's a different levels of market education from beginners to advanced to intermediate, So you can, enroll in, any of those courses.
So what are the prospects for this year, sir? Do you see
Well,
a bright future
We're
for
trying
the
to
market?
put all the ingredients there, no? I think, well, not only the Philippines, but globally, what's affected the stock markets all over the world is really the high interest rates. No? Kasi right now, if you invest in a time deposit, you'll get 6.5%, 7%. I was looking at the BSP data last June, as of June 30, the latest one I saw. There are about almost a little over 1 million time depositors or people with time deposits. And the time deposits amount to 4.9 plus trillion pesos. So we have liquidity in the economy. Kaya lang nandun sa time deposit.
Time deposit.
But as the rates go down, we're hopeful that this will slowly filter back to the stock exchange.
And do you think this will be the case?
Well, if you look, I'm not an economist, I'm not a financial analyst, but if you listen to them, or economists or bankers, they keep talking about the rates starting to go down in
Go down.
the second half, no? Wala nang rate increase daw in the next 3 to 6 months, and then, the rates will start to go down.
That would
And that
encourage
money is going to look for other
for
investments.
other investments.
So I'll
So
check
it's-
on PSE equipped Chito to be
Well,
educated.
the other thing, I hope you people also register with what we call PSE Easy. Okay? PSE Easy, when I joined the exchange in 2017, companies that do an IPO, they have to allocate 10% of the shares to LSIs, to local small investors.
Small investors.
So, nung dumating ako doon, sabi ko, kamusta naman yung local small investor participation in the market? Of the 10% na allocated sa kanila, less than 1% was being availed of. No? So,
Yung awareness siguro.
I looked into it and then I understood why. Kasi at that time, PSC had 3 kiosks. Meron kaming kiosk sa Manila, sa 168 Mall. Meron kami sa Quezon City, sa Eastwood. Meron kami sa Makati, doon sa Paseo Center. And of course, our offices. So, the local small investor would have to go to one of these 4 places. Present government IDs and get an application form. Fill up the application form, physically bring that form to the office of his broker or her broker. Tapos sabi ng broker, tama, si Chito may account sa akin, and will acknowledge, will sign off on that form. Ibabalik na yung form na yan sa kiosk.
Okay.
No? And then make a payment. All for 50,000 pesos. Sabi ko, wala talaga mag-invest dito. No? So, the first I did, sabi ko, we have to digitalize this process. No? It took us 2 years to develop a platform for that, which is the PSEEC. And then I increased the limit from 50,000 to 1 million pesos. No? So ngayon, all an investor will have to do is register one time with PSEEC. Again, ec.pse.com.ph. You'll see that in our website.
I guess that's...
Yan. Register one time. Pag-register mo doon, i-indicate mo sino yung broker mo. Papadala namin yung application mo sa broker.
Yeah.
Sabi ng broker, yes, Chito has an account with us. Sagot sa amin, you registered. Tuwing may IPO ngayon, you just get notices. There's a IPO of Citicorp Renewable Energy. No? You're entitled to subscribe to 1,000 shares. Are
That's
you
an
interested?
automatic allocation.
May automatic allocation ka na. No? And right there and then, just answer there. And then, naka-program na yun. And then, at the end of, 5 days, just go to a bank and pay.
Okay.
So, from less than 1%, yung mga IPOs namin ngayon, we had 3 IPOs that was oversubscribed sa LSI. Mga 13 or 14% ang take-up, no? But now we average about 7%. And now we're getting investors from not only Metro Manila, but from the provinces and even from overseas. So that's another product that you should, look into.
And how many IPOs are do you...
Well,
this year?
last year we only had 3 IPOs. Hopefully we get more this year, no? We're targeting about 7 to 8 IPOs this year.
renewable energy.
And maybe hopefully a REIT, no?
REIT.
And some other companies.
So it's one way of, trying to,
Compared with the
trying
other...
to lessen the intimidation.
The friction,
Yes.
Yun
make
lang
it
may
easier. The
intimidation.
access make it easier. Actually, ang PSEEC namin, meron kaming phase 2 that hopefully will come out by the beginning of second quarter. Pati yung payment feature, naka-integrate na. Hindi ka na kailangan pumunta ng bangko. Ikaw ka na lang magbabayad.
Okay. Through GCash or...
No, we have a payment platform that we call
your own payment platform?
a third-party
Third-party.
platform provider.
Ano na talaga yan
Digital.
Since the nag-pandemic, the e-commerce has
Yes.
really flourished.
And I mean,
terms
one
of
of our strategies
liquidity.
basically is digital transformation.
Okay.
that would be a big boost to
Again,
the liquidity of
yes.
the market.
So, ang dami na na-mention ni Mr. Monzon about, encouraging the listing of more companies. Are there can you provide insights on, on this, this program of encouraging more companies or more to list with the PSC?
Well, the SEC had this program last year and also this year of going to all over the Philippines to get, companies, well, particularly SMEs, to access the, debt and the capital market. We participated with them. So, kasama kami yan. Last year we went, I think, to 14 different places. From Davao, Cebu, to Bukidnon, to, this year I know they're targeting Bohol. Basta there are another 12 places. So, we go with them and recently we completed what we call embracing the IPO concept, or embracing the IPO. We prepared a video where we had listed companies
Yes, sir.
give a talk on how their listing journey was and what difference it made to their company that they are now listed. So we had Jollibee there, we had Wilcon, we had yung Balay, Pandesal ni Lester. We had DNL, which is a very, very good company.
Yeah.
And we had Raslag, a renewable solar company in Pampanga. They gave a talk. We will be distributing this video.
Kumbaga success stories and
Yeah.
sharing their best practices.
Correct.
All right. So, we still have, a few questions for
Sure,
you,
sure.
Mr. Monzon. But we'll be right back after a short break.
See,
This break is brought to you by Angkas, Beat the Traffic, Bayad Center, hashtag Bigger Better Younger Bayad, and you can buy it all. Globe, atin ang mundo. Meralco, ang liwanag ng bukas. SM, we've got it all for you. Smart, live more today. Union Bank, it starts with you. A wellness show dedicated to empowering viewers with the knowledge and inspiration needed to lead a healthy lifestyle. Be Well Now, hosted by Miss Cory Crino, every Wednesday at 2 p.m. only here at Daily Tribune's Facebook page and Tribune Now in YouTube.
Alamin ang pinakamaiinit na balita at mahalagang issue na bumabalot ngayon sa ating bansa. Ating pag-usapan, blow by blow, dito lang sa Hot Patatas, kasama sila Chicky Mangkukang, Vernon Velasco at Gio Leaño. Yung Lunes, Miyerkules at Biyernes, alas 3 ng hapon, dito lang sa Daily Tribune Facebook page at Tribune Now sa YouTube.
Conversations that are masterclasses from the top honchos of various industries. Learn from their strategies and insights so you yourself can unlock your full potential. Perfect every Friday at 2 p.m. only here in Daily Tribune's Facebook page and Tribune Now in YouTube. Creative minds, entertainment icons, style influencers. We shine the spotlight on remarkable individuals who shape our cultural landscape. Every Tuesday at 2 p.m. only here in Daily Tribune's Facebook page and Tribune Now in YouTube.
Parayan at talakayang showbiz, times 2, doble-doble! Kasama ang dalawa sa walang kupas na talakayan ng showbiz, Alwin Ignacio at Alex Brosas. DTT Show, tuwing Sabado at Linggo, alas 4 ng hapon, dito lang sa Diaryo Tirada ng Daily Tribune.
Straight Talk dives deep into present issues of leadership, politics, business, and more. Engage in insightful conversations with industry shakers, government leaders, and trailblazers every Wednesday at 10 a.m. only here on Daily Tribune's Facebook page and Tribune Now in YouTube.
Yes,
we're
we're back.
Okay.
Chito, marami pa tayong tanong.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
What, Mr. Monzon, what measures is the PSC considering in promoting sustainability and responsible investing among
Well,
companies.
the PSE is very, very active in, ESG, encouraging our, listed companies to have their ESG, activities, no. But one of the most important things, guys, you have to have a standardized reporting of one sustainability, program and everything. So with the ASEAN exchanges, we came up with certain para common yung I mean, all listed companies, whether in the Philippines or in the ASEAN, they have a common reporting framework. There are certain things that you report on. No? I understand the SEC is also trying to push something what they call it SURE, no? Sustainability reporting requirement, which is still, we're working with them on that also. But again, we do a lot of ESG activities. Recently, let me just read this. No? We formalized our membership in this was last December in the Net Zero Financial Service Providers Alliance. No? It's a member coalition of the broader Glasgow Financial Alliance for Net Zero. So again, here, all the stock exchanges that are members here come up with certain, goals or objectives for 2030, for 2050, which we are able to, you might say, disperse to our listed companies. Now, these are the important, ESG initiatives that the World Federation of Exchanges are doing, and so we encourage them to do that and be part of it.
Yeah, and I suppose they have their own ESG programs that
easily. Actually, in the Philippines, we have a lot of listed companies that have very, very advanced ESG programs. You have the Ayala or even SM, Aboitiz. Believe it or not, on their own, they're making sure that their ESG responsibilities are being taken care of.
Yeah, in terms of transparency, there are some issues regarding companies not complying with transparency rules of the PSC.
Well, okay. Actually, sometimes there's misunderstanding on the stock exchange ecosystem. Sometimes, you hear a statement, there's insider trading in the stock exchange. The PSE is not doing anything about it. But, okay. What is the responsibility of PSE? PSE is an SRO, self-regulating organization for listed companies. And for the brokers, but for the brokers only as far as admitting them for membership and expelling them from membership if they don't comply with, the rules. Okay? We craft or come up with rules for listed companies and we enforce them. So, yan ang SRO duty ng PSE.
Yeah.
There is a regulatory arm that PSE owns, but it's totally independent of. I don't know if you heard of CMIC, Capital Market Integrity Corporation. A totally separate company, also an SRO, but for broker regulation. So sila ang may tinatawag naming surveillance platform. It's a real digital platform that is able to capture mga, related trades, mga insider trading. So, silang responsible doon. But, PSE, CMIC, we don't have any police powers. We don't have any enforcement powers. So, pag may nakikita ang CMIC, let's say, suspected insider trading, this is reported to the SEC. And for further investigation and for action. Like, Abra mining. We've been crucified about Abra mining. But, you know, Abra mining, we've investigated this and submitted our report to the SEC in as early as February, I think 2023 or 22 or so, you know.
Around that time, yeah.
And so every time people write to us, we tell them, check with SEC.
SEC.
So that's why it's very important to know the ecosystem, kasi we get blamed for something that is not. That's something we cannot do about. Some people, actually there are some members in the board who said, why don't we have the SRC, yung Securities Regulation Code, amended so that PSC can be the one to run after and prosecute all this. Sabi ko, I don't like that.
Yeah.
Kasi mafo-focus yung idea natin, yung lahat ng time natin sa cases.
Yeah.
There is a correct, and body for that, there's the SEC.
SEC,
You don't want to
which-
take that upon yourself kasi day in and day out, that's all you'll be doing. Attending to cases and, instead of developing the market. So, kami, kasi for us, like I said, we have two mandates. Investor protection and developing the capital market, meaning help companies access capital. Diba? For me, yung investor protection, really, the best, there are two pillars for me of investor protection. Investor protection doesn't mean, Chito, itong IPO na to, wag ka mamili dyan, parang hindi maganda yan. I'm not an expert. I mean, maybe I don't like the owner. So, that's not investor protection. For me, investor protection means, number one, the investor has to be educated. So, we provide you the education tools.
Informed choice. We're giving the
Oh,
informed
that's why we have all this PSC Academy training, and that's why we keep, always going out also and educating the investors, no? The second pillar of investor protection for me is disclosure. Diba? The companies must disclose accurately the material information on a timely basis.
On a timely basis.
Para nga
which
walang...
is- yeah.
That's, we're responsible for that. And we penalize companies heavily pag yung disclosure nila is delayed or inaccurate. No? I mean, stiff penalties. So, that is what PS is responsible for, investor protection, like I said, via education and via ensuring that listed companies have this proper, accurate, timely disclosure of material information. And brokers that, only qualified brokers can operate. Yun ang membership kami. So, the policing of insider trading, sham sales, that's, ang responsible dyan is CMIC. No? But in both cases, CMIC and PSE, people must understand, we don't have enforcement power. All of our findings have to be forwarded to our regulator.
So you were talking about stiff penalties.
Penalties.
So ano itong mga stiff penalties
Well,
that you impose on?
I mean, monetary penalties sometimes. No?
Suspension.
We could suspend you if you are not submitting your
right disclosure.
reports on time. We'll suspend you because we don't want investors to be trading on shares that they don't know what's happening.
Okay. And that's every day, right? The disclosure
Well,
is every day.
meron kami tinatawag na structured reports and structured reports. Unstructured reports ay yung mga disclosure na yan.
PSE Edge.
You enter into a new agreement with the company. Unstructured that, you have to disclose that right away. Structured is, you have to file your quarterly report, income statement, and quarterly financial statement, annual, your public ownership report, mga structured yan.
All right.
By the way, G, we have been a partner with the PSE since December
December 4, I remember that.
regarding information campaign about the stock market.
Yeah. So that's the PSC corner.
Yeah, the PSE corner.
So that's an everyday thing, Monday to
This
Monday.
is a weekly.
it's just
It's a weekly thing.
All right.
Yeah, it comes
Like I
out,
mentioned
every
earlier,
Monday.
we want to bring the market to the public.
It's bringing the mountains
The
to
mount-
Muhammad.
Bring the mountain to
To
Muhammad.
Muhammad.
Yeah. All right, so
So
that's
goodbye.
good. I hope to sustain it and see it until I see that PSE corner until kingdom comes. All right, so
Till
Mr.
Muhammad
Monzon,
comes.
I think this is our second to the last question. We don't want to keep you.
Yeah,
I know you're
in
busy.
your busy
So
schedule.
can you share any upcoming regulatory or policy changes in the PSE that it's planning to introduce in 2024?
We do
And-
have a lot of fun. No? I mean,
So just the salient ones, maybe you could share with our viewers.
well, we've had very, very recent rule changes, no? But we still have some rule change. Okay, when we do rule changes, basically what we do is we don't create rules or amend rules in isolation. What do I mean by that? We benchmark. We always make sure our rules are updated to reflect the best, best practices. So, pag meron kami papel ng rule, titignan namin, ano ginagawa ng Thailand? Ano ginagawa ng Hong Kong? So, we also benchmark. We, over the last 3 years, we must have had at least 30 rule changes and amendments. No? Like I mentioned earlier, we're amending our rules. Our recent changes would be amending rules to allow VWAP trading,
VWAP.
amending our rules to allow algorithmic trading. We also have the okay. If you are a listed company, you can issue shares in another currency. We call it dollar denominated. For example, Del Monte, meron sila mga dollar preferred shares like Certec. So what you say, wag lang listed company. If you're a new company, you want to do an IPO, you're an export company, you have export earnings. You want to do an IPO, you want to do it in dollars, do it in dollars. So we're working on getting that approved. Some technical things on when should we halt market trading. Kunyari, nagka-problema yung system namin. Ngayon, if 1/3 of the brokers are not able to access the trading system, we halt. Sabi ko, sa dami ng brokers natin na maliliit, that's not the correct way to do it. Let's see. If the brokers comprising more than 50% of the trades, the average trades in the last 3 months or the last year, pag yan hindi maka-access, halt. Pag hindi, continue. Para, let the others, continue to trade. So, that's one of the things we're working on. Madami pa kami ginagawa.
How is it different
Tuloy-tuloy,
now?
we're evolving, we're an,
Kasi dati may floor trading, ngayon
Wala na.
digital na eh.
Yeah.
Actually,
Doesn't
the PSE
took out
is,
the
the
excitement
PSE is so
sa-
digitalized. Nung lumipat kami sa BGC, hindi naman kailangan ng trading floor.
Wala na.
You will see that nung nag-pandemic,
Yes, sir.
tinigil kami ng one day. I had to appeal to, ang dami-dami kong sinulatan doon, pinuntahan na, you cannot stop the stock market from operating. I mean, so, they allowed us to operate 2 days after.
Yeah.
But, ang mga condition doon, no
50%.
trading floor. People cannot congregate.
So
Just like that,
What,
we were able to
triggered
plan.
the...
Kasi in other words, capable na kami nun eh. Alam mo bakit gusto lang ang mga brokers may trading floor? Cheap rent. Di ba? We provide them the facility no? But really,
Tsaka
when
yung
we-
excitement, sir.
when we had the trading
floor.
floor in BGC,
Yes, sir.
we only had about 80 brokers out of the 124. The others, the big ones
I
are
don't know.
trading from their
Their
offices.
Dalawa pa na ang PSE sa Makati, the office in Makati.
We used to have, the Makati and
Those are
the
the
2 trading floors
those
in
houses.
Tectite.
Yeah,
Pasig.
right.
Uh,
Now it's BGC.
but now there's no trading floor. Ginawa kong events hall ngayon yun eh. That's where we do our ceremony, bell ringing, IPOs, listing anniversaries.
And the building in Makati, What do you do?
Our offices are still there.
The offices are still there.
We renovated it, and we're having it, we're trying to get it rented out.
I see.
So it's PSE owned pala, that one in Pasig.
Yung Pasig, binenta ko na yun.
Alright.
Yung sa Ayala Tower, one. We kept that.
Bago lang yun sa Pasig, di ba? Before you
No.
moved to...
Yung Tech Titan, luma na yun.
Okay.
Yung Ayala Tower is very, very new. We had it renovated. And of course, now we're in BGC.
So, we'll talk about projections.
Well,
Monzon.
I don't give projections because I'm not a financial analyst. But, well, if you look at your PSE corner, I make sure that, people, that are in a position to project, we come up with projections that you'll have, you saw Security Bank there, you saw Call Financial, you saw UBS. Yung mga malalaki, we tell them, what is your projection for 2024? Because we want the market investors to know about it. And that's why we publish that in the PSE corner. In the projections, anywhere from 7.3 to 8.6, di ba? Parang ganun. So, I hope magbilang ang health sila and that really happens,
How about the index?
Well, that's it. They're projecting the index to be anywhere. We're now at 6.6, di ba? So, they're projecting that for 2024, it will be anywhere from 7.6 to 8.3.
The highest that...
8.3 ang kanilang
8.3.
projection. Projection nila, hindi akin. But I hope, sabi nga, magdilang ang health sila.
It's their projection.
But,
not yours.
kasi if you think about it, di ba? What is the stock market? The stock market is supposed to be the bellwether for the country's economy.
True.
Pag tingin ng tao yung economy is going to be yung stock market will will reflect that, di ba? And for 2024, based on the ADB Asian Development Plan, the Philippines will have the highest GDP among the Asian countries at 6.2. Ang Vietnam nga 6 lang eh. Our inflation is being projected again by the experts or the BSP and other to be between back to 3 and 4.
Moderate.
They're projecting no more increase in interest rates, and in fact, some rate decreases in the second half. So, parang all the ingredients are there to make it happen. So, do I believe in their projections? Of course, I'm an optimist. I believe in those projections. And I hope they become true. On a technical side kasi, some analysts measure a stock market based on what they call the PE ratio. Ano ba ang PE ratio ng index? So right now, our index at 6.6 is about a little over 12 times moving forward. In other words, for 2024. But it came from 18. Galing tayo sa 18. Remember the market has already hit 9,000 in February 2018 or something.
That's the highest.
Highest ever. So, slowly but surely, but historically, the market always bounces back and more. Historically. So,
hindi pwede talagang sasadsa.
hindi.
So it always bounces back.
So, you're talking about PE ratio.
Yes, sir.
We're down at a little over 12. Historically, we're 18.5, 18.7.
So there's a lot of potentials pa rin.
Earnings.
Yeah,
The earnings of listed companies are just going up, tremendously. For 2024, they expect the earnings of the index companies to go up by about 12 to 14%. So,
That's high.
saan papupulutin yung stocks kundi sa taas, di ba?
How about the external factors, sir?
Okay. What's our headwinds that I see? There is spending El Nino that we're talking about. I don't know how that's going to affect our, agricultural products, how that will affect our pricing, inflation. And there are all these geopolitical di ba? Challenges. Nobody foresaw that Russia, Ukraine. Now there is this Israel, Hamas. Ngayon merong saber rattling ng China with Taiwan. I hope none of this become real. But those are the challenges, basically.
Okay.
El Nino. No?
Yeah, locally El Nino, of course.
So, how hard would it affect these headwinds will have on the stock
Well,
market?
geopolitical issues, wala tayong magagawa doon. I mean, being a small market, sabi nga nila when the U.S. market sneezes or catches a cold, we catch
We
the flu.
catch the flu.
Di ba? So, it depends on that. On the El Nino, I think our government has had enough advance notice to prepare for that. I mean, we have a new agriculture secretary. Well, I hope they're doing something, about this.
Last year pa yan.
Yeah.
Yung news about El Nino, that it's going to be worse this time.
Worse.
Yeah.
So the probable solution is widening the investor base, bring in the
New products,
new
take out
products.
friction costs, expand retail participation of retail investors, democratize access to the market.
And the brokers. All right, so Mr. Monzon, it has been an interesting discussion. Can we have your parting words?
Well, the most, for the public, I keep saying, the most important thing is we have to learn to save. Save, we say save for a rainy day, but if the rainy day doesn't come, meaning you don't become sick, you need to still save for your retirement, for you to, if you want to travel, you have to save. So for me, that value of savings is the most important value to inculcate in the mind of the young people.
Correct.
Kasi, the young people from school, if you are on a consumption mode or mindset, you get trapped by this credit card debts and all that. Diba? So it's really very important that we teach them to save. When they start working, save a little. Now that you have savings, you have to, you have to make your savings work for you. No? If you have an inflation of 3-4%, you're making 1% in the bank. You're losing money. Diba? The value of your money.
Right.
So historically, if you look at the the investment history in the Philippines or even globally, you talk about bonds, time deposits, real estate. What has proven to be very, very resilient is the stock market. Over the long period, people make more in the stock market.
Despite the risks.
Well, the risks are always there. I mean, when I say the stock market, I'm talking about investment, in the speculation. I mean,
Speculation.
you invest in good companies. Because these good companies will continue to become bigger and will continue to earn more. And what will they do with their earnings? They plow it back to the investors, diba? In terms of dividends.
That's true.
So let's start.
Start
Chito.
investing.
Start with the
With 100
registrations, PSE, EC,
And
and get PSE equipped.
be educated with
Yeah.
PSC Equip and
Go to PSE Academy website. We have a separate website for...
okay.
And consult with Mr. Monzon frequently.
All right. So thank you so much.
Hi, thank you,
to
Gigie.
the
Thank you,
President
Chito,
and
for having
CEO
me.
of the Philippine Stock Exchange.
It was our
Thank-
pleasure. Sir.
And thank you mga katribo for watching this episode of Straight Talk. I'm Gigie Arcilla.
Once again, I'm Chito Lozada. Watch Straight Talk every Wednesday at 10 a.m. on Daily Tribune's Facebook page and Tribune Now on YouTube.
Thank you again mga katribo. Tune in again next week for another episode of Straight Talk.
Thank you.